How you going, viewers? It's just Manic Magic here. Glorious Sunday morning, about 9 a.m. here, Australian time. It's very calm. I haven't done a live stream for a while. I've come down to my lake. If you've seen my last videos, you can see where I do all my activities, my drone flying, my fishing, and I'll be doing a lot of comedy skits here and stuff. It's very calm today, but very muggy. It's very sultry weather, very Indian-like weather. And yeah, I just thought I'd get on here and just check out with these guys where I'm at. How you going, Flash in the Pan? How you going, Mason? All good supporters. Good to see you on. There's three of us now. Very good to see you guys. Yes, this is the Aussie connection. I've got a lot of Aussie friends now that I've been focusing on. I've done been on a lot of different live streams where a lot of Aussie mates, not that I'm generating only Aussies, it's just that I just want to get a bit more connected with good substance and good people along with you guys. And so I've been going on a lot of chats with a lot of different people. I've been able to form a lot of good mates. Some friends from Australia here, some of them I even have trouble understanding. They're so ochre, meaning that's the way we say redneck, or we use the term bogans here. And some of them I even have trouble, and I've got friends. And we've got Chopper One, he's a good friend of mine here in Australia too. And he's might come on board just to pop in, I don't know. But I'm only just doing a quick stream just to let you know where I'm at. I haven't done a few streams yet because I was having a few troubles with my computer. And yeah, I've just been hanging out. Because what I've done is I've bought a computer that's half assembled and I'm upgrading it so I can get what I need. Because after all, we've got to, with this YouTube bizzo, we've got fairly good RAM and all the rest of it, and as well as memory card and SSD and the whole bits. And you can't really get a computer that you need off the shelf. So I've got the basics and I'm just going to continue on with that. How you going, guys? Essence. And who else we've got there? Yep. How you going, everyone? Good to see you pop in. Yeah, so I'm just building. I've got the upgrades already, and I was just had a bit of a delay. It was over 3 weeks ago I ordered my computer, and I rang up about 2 weeks, nearly 2 weeks later, and they hadn't even started it. There was a bit of complications with the where the payment was put in, and I quoted my number, reference number and all the rest of it, and they mixed up the names. How they did, I don't know. So luckily I rang them anyway. I got them onto it, and they were a bit embarrassed. So I had to play a bit of hardball because I said, you got my money and it's not good enough. It's 2 weeks and you haven't even started it, to get the opponents in there that I required just for the basics. Anyway, it's here in my town now, but it's at the depot. We don't have mail or couriers here on weekends, and it's Sunday, so I should get it tomorrow morning. Because I had a look on the map of where the courier, it's quite fantastic how they do it, so you can keep tabs on the tracking. So it's actually here. I could actually break in overnight, but I chose not to. I'm not that sort of boy. And being Sunday, I might have been struck down by God. Doing naughty things like that, so I didn't even consider doing that. But it was funny because I was at the bottle depot yesterday, and because I was picking up a new coffee machine so I could put it in my studio, and I happened to just pull out, and I was talking to Farmer JT, and I said, check out what's across the road. And he says, what? I said, you know that depot there across the road from the can and bottle depot? recycling depot. That's where my computer is housed. And I says, I had the mind to break in to get it because it's mine. But no, it was, I just can't wait because it might solve a little problems with my streaming. But in the meantime, I've bought more cameras. I've bought I've bought another webcam, a 1080p webcam from Logitech. I've got this little mock-up GoPro. It's a 4K camera. It's supposed to be as good as, and I've got all the bits and pieces with it, but I didn't bring it down today. I'm just going to have a bit of a read up. So I've just having a read up after the stream, and they reckon the reviews that they've had on it is as good as a $700 GoPro 7 that you have to purchase here in Australia. That's how much it costs. How you going, guys? Who else have I missed? Media videos, how you going? Yes, is that Izzy Vlogs there? How you going? Oh, Rodney Bell, good to see you in here. Rodney, I seen Rodney Bell in the chat. It's just he's such a good friend of mine and a good supporter. He's from the drone community and much more than just being in the drone community. He's just a good general. And yeah, good to see you in here, buddy. I just thought I'd do a quick live stream because I've been lacking on the live stream at the moment because I've been a bit disheartened because I've needed to try get all my gear up to scratch. And so I've been improving. Like I said, I'm getting this new computer. Anyway, I was across the road from the recycling depot, and I said my computer is in there, and I had the mind to wish I could jump the fence and go and retrieve it, but yeah, that's not the best thing to do. It's not the Christian thing to do, is it? To even think it, but I thought it was a bit amusing. So we thought we'd come down here to my lake. I probably got my finger over the thing. This is the reason why I want to upgrade my computer, so I don't have these problems where I'm getting my finger over the screen and I'm trying to check out chat, I lose connection, things like that. I want to try get my streams or even my content down here. It's not a problem. I mean, we all muck in. We know what it's like to have a raw live stream and we just get on with it. But to get a polished channel, it takes time, it takes commitment, and I just want to polish it. How you going, Basanayev? And yeah, it just all takes time. And I wanted to, because this is my art channel, but I do fishing, I do vlogging, I do all sorts of things. I come here with my dog down here. She's parked there at the moment, goes for a run down the lake. When I say run, a stroll. She only runs when her friend's here, and that's a little border, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier that comes every morning. We have a play date together with the dogs and the owner here. We come down for a walk and have a cup of coffee. And yeah, this is what I come to every day and enjoy. Oh, I'm looking a bit scruffy, so I think I might, when I get my computer and whatnot, I might have a bit of a trim up. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. Like I said, I've got new webcams. So I can position them in 2 positions, so I can do the show, focus on my art, focus on me, so I can explain stuff, and then I can position it, change the camera focus on the actual art that I'm doing. Like I said, drone community's been good to me. I've got most of my supporters there. The fishing community has revved my subscriber count up big time. I mean, I owe a lot of my subscribers to Jag Fishing, Rocco from Passion Hunting and Fishing, and that, like, I was getting like 100 and something subscribers a day from one live stream, I should say, probably more than. So I was getting probably 150 or so over a couple of live streams. And I mean, that's where I get, but the thing is, I'm not digressing, if that's the word, from what I focus on. Art is my passion. Art is what I do. Art will speak for itself. But I have so many other ideas that I want to do and combined. Like I've got this other channel, this new channel that Farmer and I are committed to, that we're going to have in a couple of months' time. And we've got to take our time and build on that, because it's only a side project, just to create a little bit of response and some of the ideas that we want to do. And that will be the Redneck channel. But we're focusing here today on my art channel. But like I said, we've got drone people here, and like I said on one of my live streams, we've got drone people that love art. We've got Hugh there from Asgard. He loves watercolor painting. I mean, we're all not just drone people. We've got people that connect through the church. We've got people that connect through fishing, motorbikes, car racing, RC cars, everything. And so therefore, we're not just one person. We're unique, but we do cover a lot of other aspects in our life that we have interests for, and we've grown up to love lots of different things. No worries, Mason, not a problem. Yeah, so we cover a lot of different things, and we want to do on my Redneck channel. Our Redneck channel, because it's Farmers and my Redneck channel. He's had a few problems with his main channel that got deleted. Someone ill reported him for something that he didn't do. They reckon that he had bad content, some content that was on his live stream that wasn't the case. I think someone has it in for him, unfortunately, because he's been successful so quickly. And Farmer's had a few problems, like I just said. It's just a bit of buffering now. And he's got his channel deleted, but his channel, he's out there fighting. And we'll talk about that later. But yeah, but he's helping me out. I'm helping him out. And most of the communities have been great, but some people that don't try to put the work in, because a lot of people reckon that you've got to be lucky to get successful. Well, I don't believe in that. I do believe in luck, but I purely believe in hard work. And JT and I have proven hard work will create a good channel. And we've put in the hard work, and we haven't even started. We've got people out there in the different communities deciding whether or not they're going to continue, because it's a hard battle and struggle with YouTube. Well, I tell them there, you just got to get smart. You've got to be active. You've got to get back to the people, and you just got to keep real. And that's what I'm all about. I do hard work. I keep it real, and I try to keep my promises, but unfortunately YouTube creates a bit of a barrier sometimes, or a hurdle. And we've got to get over those hurdles. Like, we were going to do a lot of giveaways on our channels, and they gave us a bit of a hurdle there, but oh, how you going, the Redneck connection? That must be Farmer on there, getting on there. I hope so. That'd be great if it is. And yeah, what we need to do is just get smart and face those hurdles, because luckily I spoke to iSpike from Australia here, droning community, great friend, and we talked together off screen. And he says there's just been a few different things to do with the giveaways, but it's all back on. You just got to be smart. Look at the policies, read what they are. Don't worry about the BS where it comes to scaremongering. People scaremongering, well, as well as people that don't know the information. Like, we had someone there from the drone community earlier, and he's usually pretty smart, but obviously he doesn't have all the facts. And the facts are, just because some of his friends have deleted their channel because they base their channel on giveaways, it doesn't mean that we can't do it. We just got to get our smarts up. And I could go lengthy through this situation and where you can improve the giveaway policies, but I'll leave that to another live stream or a video. because there's ways of getting around it. As long as you commit yourself with a time when you commence the giveaway and when you end it, as well as what you're giving away, who's giving it away, and a whole heap of factors. As long as you do your checklist like anything, follow the checklist. And when I got my mind around things, I can do things pretty successful, as I've proven and shown. And if you just follow the policies, everything's been fine. The people that got their channels deleted may have been doing it wrong. They just may not have been educated how to go about it. And they just thought they'd wing it. And it's only time that YouTube will catch up with you. And that's the issue, because as the things happen, it doesn't mean it wasn't the rules before. It just means they're cracking down harder. And that's what we're going to do, is be smart and keep up with YouTube and work out when they're cracking down harder and avoid it. Do your homework. Be smart. Be wise. I'll just check the chat again. I just don't want to gabble on, because I want to make sure you, the viewer, is the go. Oh, it's a Redneck Connect chat. Very well. So mistakenly, that was connection. That's okay. He's a fellow supporter of mine, and we hopefully support him as well. And he will hopefully come on the channel and promote his, because we want all the Rex all over the world to support our channels. And those that got a little bit of redneck in us all. And it's just a bit of humour and fun. I don't claim to be the Redneck channel. I claim to be a comedy with a difference, because that's what it's all about. We want to just create comedy. So we don't want to tread on any redneck toes or make fun of them where they'll cry. We're not out for rednecks to cry. We want to embrace them and enjoy their laughter and our laughter. And yeah, just going back, sorry for putting my finger on the screen, and that this is why I'm just doing this, because it's a good mobile way of doing a live stream, just at the ready. And especially, it's been a while since I've done a live, and we needed to. Me, when I say me, we is the third person. Thank you for stopping in, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, just look back where I am. This is the fishing paradise. This is where we do all our fishing down here. We have a river connected to, which is the biggest river in Australia, the Murray River. And I've always lived by the river or sea, and I've always had fishing daily. Oh, there's Zigzag down there. Just in the reflection, I could see her down there. I'll just focus on her, if I can. Oh, she's a beautiful dog. Yeah, she's just out of shot at the moment. She, like I said, she just does a stroll. She knows when to get into shot. She knows what's going on, because she watches my big screen all the time, and she sees all the other dogs, and she sees Jagger Scott's dog, and she sees Trixie on Canadian Drone Hub, and she loves all the dogs, and she loves the camera, the doggy cams, and she looks up and she sees them there, and she wants a doggy cam of her own, and because I talk to her like in English, and she understands me, and I just, she doesn't talk back, but I can read what she's saying, and true dog lovers can do that. And it's not all made up or belief. We do, when you have a connection, like you have a best friend, you don't really, sometimes best friends. I'll give you an example. One time in my life, over time, my best friend was my mum. And we used to spend time after a tragedy that happened. She came and lived with me before she went into a retirement home and settled there for some years. And we used to sit at the kitchen table, and she used to read the local newspaper from back to front, and then from front to back, and vice versa, and read it inside and out whilst doing puzzles or whilst doing something just to relax later in the evening, just before settling for bed. And I used to do that to spend time with my mother. And often we'd be silent, and we'd be silent for hours. not because we didn't need to converse in language. We just understood each other, that we just enjoyed each other's company. And so we'd spend, and then every now and then something might come to mind and there might be a question. And this is a really delightful story to me because it made me learn something. And because she was divorced and everything at that time through a tragedy that happened with her ex-husband, and she was reading the connection pages, which is like, I love you, you love me, let's connect, wah, wah, wah. Not that she was out to look for a partner again. It was just that she did it just to fill in time. And all of a sudden, because she knew that I was fairly open in all walks of life, I'm very history committed, just learning people, wanting to know people and knowing about people. And so she thought she'd pop up the question. And she said, Trevor, what's a bi guy? Well, I was a bit taken back because I wasn't expecting a question from my mother, because it was something that she had only recently learnt, and she was too frightened to ask at first because she was a bit embarrassed. Not that anything would normally embarrass her, but she just kept it to herself, and so I just explained to her what it was, and she went a bit quiet. She thought, well, I'm sorry I asked, and she went back to her reading and left it at that. But what that taught me that day was I could teach my mother something, even though she is so wise. We're all here and still able to learn a little bit of something. Whether it was something that she really wanted to learn, I don't know. But she learnt something. And I thought she knew it all because we used to converse so much in everything we talked about, because she taught me art right from when I was a wee little baby. And so art was in my blood. I can remember, as far as back as I can remember, playing with her pastels and her oil paints and getting into mischief, and I was always inquisitive. Many times my mother reminded me how way back when I was only a little boy, I'd go to her bedroom and the reason why I'm slightly diverse in my nature is because I had a large family of females and males, so I did the manly thing as well as the girly thing. Well, I used to love her little treasures, and her little treasures were up in her bedroom. And I'd go up there sometime when no one was around, all the other kids wouldn't bother me, and I'd rearrange her little treasures. I would rearrange her jewellery, and one of my favourite treasures was these antique glass blown bells. They were Christmas bells that you would have for while Christmas, and they had like a spring in them, and you could chime them. The little lead would chime against the lead blown glass. And they were multiple colours. I'd love to have them. They would be so valuable now. But they were my favourite. But I'd rearrange everything. And Mum would always say, I could trust you, Trevor. I could trust you that you weren't going to break anything. You weren't going to lose anything. You just rearranged it the way that you would like it. And like you do with make-believes and that. And I think that's where I come to marketing as well, because I'd display it in such a way that I'd like to display it if I was in a shop or whatever, and how I could best sell it. And all these, I'm a little bit emotional because thinking about my mum, but she's no longer with us now. But all these little things, when you grow up in life, they can start way back when you're so young and set you up for your life experiences. I think that's why I'm so well conversed with selling, up marketing and all the rest of it, because my mum trusted me. And I think that's why I can sell, because people trust me. I'm not going to sell anything to any of you guys out there that's not going to be of value to you and something that you won't want. The first rule of thumb is you must have a need for it. I cannot stand salesmen that want to sell you something that you do not need. If there is a need, I will convince you, but I won't beat hard when I feel someone's not convinced. They've got to know if they have a need for it, and they're the only person that can tell you. So without getting off track, these are just the few experiences one can have. And like I said, art is in my blood. Art is in a lot of my family's blood. And a lot of things that happen in our family happens without us actually talking to one another. I believe strongly that we have a connection, that we can understand each other from time to time. How you going, Lewis? Good to see you in chat. How you going, John? Good. I'm glad you guys can come to make it. It's a great thing that you can just call in and say hi. We've got 9 in the chat. 9 likes, sorry. Yeah, we've got a couple in the chat. Just hit the like. That'd be great. I'm just chatting away. I don't pause or anything because people watch my replays. And it's been a proven fact from my analytics. So someone can just scroll through my live chat later. It's all good. They can get a little bit of something for them. And I'm starting to build myself as a better character and try to calm myself, because I get quite explosive and quite excited through my MANIC. I once had MANIC depression, but I try to keep myself... Oh, how you going, Carol? Carol O'Connor. And another Aussie there. How you going? Thanks for checking in. So I just try to keep calmer, because I've had people that have been quite rude. There's some punk that was on a fishing channel once, and he was laughing because of the way I spoke, because he reckons I just didn't stop talking. But that's why he's only sitting on a couple of hundred subscribers after 3 years, and my channel's exploding for something I do not know what the results are for. I just be myself and I allow people like you guys out there to make the judge. Whether you want to come back, whether you want to hit that like, whether you want to subscribe, it's entirely up to you guys. The choice is yours. But I've had so much... Cole, good to see you back. Thanks for coming in. Like I said, I can't really see the chat well, but I'll try to keep up. Like I said, I'm getting a new computer. It's arrived here today or yesterday, and it should come here overnight. So tomorrow morning I should have it in my little hands, or big hands, and hopefully once I do the upgrades, which will, by the end of the week, I'll have that all done, and I'll do my live streams there. But I still do my raw live streams. I'll do these from every now and then, because I like it when it's calm down here. I haven't got my dead cat mic today. Oh, talking about dead cats. When I did all my little dead cat videos, right, explaining that a dead cat is a coined phrase for a piece of tool, which is a mic. It's a furry mic shield. Well, on my analytics, and on my tags, it proves that dead cat comes up so many times, and they advise me to use it as one of my tags in all my videos, because it's connected. It's been recommended by YouTube as part of the analytics, and it rates very highly. So I advise you guys, just as a little tip, is to check over your analytics, and when it advises you to use analytics, check out different things that you need to do, because it can help your tags. Because I've actually jumped from, I used to have about 95 people other than subscribers when I first started about 6 months ago. We're from non-YouTube subscribers, and then it changed where I was getting those non-YouTube subscribers turned into YouTube subscribers back again, and my analytics changed from, say, 40, 60. Now it's in reverse, so I'm getting people off the street, so to speak, and now becoming part of my subscriber list. And so it's basically, that's a good thing, because it means that these are people that are not people that I've hunted down, when I say that respectfully, and connect with. These are people that are actually hunting me down, which is really great. And we can learn, share and learn about that, and how that can help you guys as well. Every now and I turn around, I hear noises. Yeah, I hear noises out through this, and I don't know if they're just walking by, because this is a recreational lake, and they do a lot of their running and surfing and windsurfing, and there's no activity on there today, but it will happen a little bit later. It's a bit early at the moment, and it's been hot, so they've been just sleeping in a bit. But I'll just check what comments have been made in the chat again, and without putting my finger over the camera, because this is the problem here, is doing it without putting their finger over the camera. So yeah, I've been learning a lot off this YouTube thingy, and I just wanted to pick up on about something. Someone made a comment about bullying, and I wanted just to see how you going, Tony. Good to see you pop in. That's great. And we talk about all sorts of things, but I don't care about getting off track, because I get off track as it is. What does this say? It says, I don't tolerate bullying. I want you to know that. Okay, I'll have to come back and read the chat and find out what your comment really sort of meant. And it'd be interesting. I'll contact you in person and find out as well. And just to when I get back and through the comments. So if you leave a comment, that'd be great, and I'll try to get back to you too to find out. That's just to see what you're talking about, because I don't condone bullying either. In fact, I'm been a big believer, and plus all through my childhood, all through my school life, I've never condoned bullying. In fact, our crowd that we used to hang out with at school, so this has actually picked up a little bit of a diverse part of the topic, is bullying. Back then at school, we used to invite the people that were being bullied, and so they had a safe haven. And I prided myself on that, and I think that's why I have dabbled a bit into counselling and with spiritual work and that with the church and all the rest of it. And I think it's because I've always looked after the underdog. It's been strong and always been well regarded as a fighter. Not that I would have liked to fight, it's just that sometimes you have to defend yourself. And whether you're a Christian or not, because I mean good Christians have gone to war many, many times. And our being Christians, in fact. And sometimes you've got to do the right thing. And sometimes bullies don't know any other language but being bullied themselves. And I don't mean bullied, I don't think that's the best word. What I mean is sometimes they just need a bit of a tickle around the ear. But the difference is, this is what I believed as a kid, not saying that I believe that now. A bit of a tickle around the ear, meaning that sometimes that's all they know, because that's the only upbringing they've had. And sometimes they respect that, because sometimes that's all they've had is from their father or mother, a bit of a tickle around the ear. The difference is we know how people like ourselves know when to stop. And that's when that stops from being abusive or assaulting or being assaulted or whatever you may call it. It's not that. Sometimes they just need a bit of a cauliflower ear to learn. And that's what I still believe, but I don't preach that normally. Because YouTube is a very diverse and very open, I can say it this way. Because unfortunately, some people come up and they need a hug after they get that tickle I've met so many people that I've tickled their ear, and I mean, give them a bit of a thump, they've become very good friends. Because sometimes they just needed that, because they knew at the end of the day I wasn't going to repeat that tickle. They knew that I was going to be there for them if they needed it, because I'm not judgmental. And I think people in the world can learn that, because if we can't sort things out in life, well, what's this humanity what's the answer to this humanity? We all have our problems. It's all conflict and resolution. And I believe strongly in conflict and resolution, meaning that if there's a problem, you deal with it, whether it means a tickle in the ear. And a lot of times, because people understand that, they don't receive that tickle around the ear. They know where I am. They start to learn from other people. Hang on, that guy's not like that. And maybe they just need someone to talk to. And that's what I ended up getting the reputation for when going to school. It's not having to convert to bad tactics. It's just that they knew, if you mess with me, you get a tickle. But at the end of the day, a lot of times I didn't have any issues because they learnt the message very quickly. And that's all comes down to education. And I think that's why I'm talking about that, because we're all here to be educated. And when you do education, then you don't have to convert to bullying or receive bullying or all the rest of it. What did you say there? I just want to get your name right, because I can't see very well. I apologise. Is it John there, is it? Tony, sorry, Tony. Yeah, it's better to ignore the trolls and bullies. Yeah, but sometimes you've got to deal with them, because I've had a friend that I've just met up with, connected with here from where I live, and he's got a YouTube channel. And he's having a few trolls, and some of the trolls can be even his moderators. And some of his moderators were even, well, they blocked me for a while, all because they hadn't seen me before. And I said, that can hurt your channel. I said, how many times has this guy done this? Block people because they didn't like what they've said, didn't like their opinion, straight up. And we're all entitled to opinion. It doesn't matter if we've been there first timer or we've been there for a long time. And it's like some people get settled and they think that's their channel. Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, you're from Adelaide too, are you? Yeah, I'm from Adelaide. Well, 2.5 hours north of Adelaide. And you probably know there who I'm talking about. But sometimes you just don't jump on there and think you're a troll. Man, give a man a bit of a chance. It's all because there was a comment I made that the guy, it was all in tongue-in-cheek. And my friend that I connected with just recently, he got quite upset, and he's actually changing his structure for his wrenches, and he explained that on his live stream last night. And I missed the live stream, but I got back on and I watched the live stream, or listened to the live stream later, because he has like a podcast. And he got back to me. He was very, very happy. But yeah, some of troll wrench people. In fact, the guy that the young who's 12, who's I'm teaming up to do a side channel, the Redneck channel. He's a very mature lad and everything, and he was someone that was part of his panel, sorry, not of his panel, part of his moderators, actually said something inappropriate. And that's why someone reported that, and someone, while he was on his live stream, and his live stream was only just picking up, he was getting like 40-something people on chat in the first 5 minutes. And he was getting traction. He was starting to roll big. When I say big, in our small community. And so he got his channel axed because of inappropriateness and a few other issues, which was not of his making. But yeah, some of our biggest trolls can be the people that we think we can trust. So, oh, you're in Brisbane? Yeah, how you going, buddy? I did recognise you, and I thought you were from Mark's channel. and where I met you. But I sometimes I don't like to, just in case you want to keep your identity quiet for a while and just until you meet people, because we don't want these people with the wrenches coming out and hitting you hard. Like I got hit in the first 5 minutes from a certain blue wrench guy the other night. Man, I mean, we all have our opinion, but we all just got to laugh about it and laugh it off, and we can break each other's balls and whatnot, but we've got to respect one another and know when it's only fun. And that's what makes live streams. Breaking balls and having fun. That should be one of my live streams that I'll do. It's breaking balls and having fun. That's what I'll call it. What do you think of that, Tony? And because these are the sort of live streams I do other than my art channel. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine, yeah. But I just play it safe. I just, allow everyone to feel their way in there. And that's just why my live streams have been successful, because we can all feel safe here. So like I said, we've got trolls in here that we've embraced. We've got gangsters in here. We've got Bible people. We've got all walks of life, and they all enjoy each other's company. What did you say there, buddy, about Cav 7? Cav 7 has been bullied and stamped out bullying. Yeah, people like Cav are going to get bullied, and I haven't had any of my bullying yet, and I'm sure it's going to happen, because people like us that have our opinion, as well as where we can be loved and people can get jealous. It's because if their channels aren't growing as well as they'd like them to be, they can get jealous. And it's happened to me a little bit where a couple of people have said some bad things about me after they've been with some of my biggest supporters. And it's all because my channel's growing faster. They get a little bit upset. And I mean, I try to go back to their live streams and that, but sometimes their live streams aren't ever exactly what I want them to be. Or because like my motto is, if you don't like something on a live stream, you can always leave. And that's what I generally do, is if I'm not happy, I'll talk it out, but if I'm not comfortable with their live streaming anymore, I'll come and visit every now and then, but I don't have to get into wars, because bullying is basically a term of wars. And some of these guys on live streams they fight out their battles on someone else's live stream because they did not connect or got along on someone else's live stream or their own stream. So then once they come back onto someone else's that is the connector, they end up trying to fight they fight battles between each other, and the poor host can't handle it, and it's not fair on them. And this is what's happening, what I'm seeing in some of the live streams. So I just try to keep it positive, and you've got to crack hard on them, because it can hurt your channel. So if you see any bullying, even if it's after, because I watch all my live streams and that, I'll go on there, and if I need to block them, I will. If I've missed something, if my moderators have missed something, I'll go back on there and block them. I'll just read that. Chat's bad to read. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's exactly right, Tony. I agree. You can all read that. But whoops. Oh, religion, colour. I've been involved with Thai girls. I want to be Filipino people, Aboriginal people. I use the term African American, where I mean relationships, not people that I know or talk to or consider friends, actual relationships. So people like myself, religion and politics and ethnicness doesn't matter. If I'm attracted to someone, I'm attracted to them as a person, not what people see them as. I find it quite offensive, especially when they label Filipino girls and Thai girls or Chinese or people of that nature to be in like a stereotype. And it's very insulting. In fact, I had a very good friend, and she used to work for me behind the bar when I was doing bar work, and she was Filipino or half Filipino. And these two drunken people that I knew were saying some horrible things about her and saying that you could get anything with her just for an orange. And how insulting is that? And so I said something to that girl's father. Well, the two guys that were involved, they ended up getting, put it this way, he took them outside, and their faces come in all sorts of colours. Their faces resembled the back end of a baboon. They were that bruised and red, and no one says anything bad about his daughter. And I still feel okay about that I felt he needed to know, because it didn't matter what I did, it needed to come from the father, because she was 18, and she was going through because here legally you're allowed to be 18 to work behind a bar. And I think she was, because she's actually still a kid. She's transferring into a woman. And people that label people certain ways are bullies. And this wasn't meant to be a topic of bullying, but it's chit chat. It diverses the way that the chat wants it to go. And yeah, I'm all for supporting people that, because I have Muslim friends, I have friends of all ethnic sides, and I think it becomes a beautiful world if we can all just try to get along. Yes, I love all people too. When I say I love all people, don't get me wrong. There are certain people that are poisonous, and they really don't deserve the love that one can give them. So sometimes you just got to keep away from them, which I have a video about that. It might not be a very structured video. It was just chit chat. That's all it had to be, about poisonous people and some of the tricks that we can avoid poisonous people. Because I have this saying that comes from my religious background of cloak yourselves with love. What that means is cloak, meaning wearing, meaning you only hang around people that don't bring you down. Because when people bring you down, you can actually beget the sads yourself. You can become them to a certain degree. You can start to learn to be like that. And it's like the old saying, it rubs off on you. Well, I don't want to be that person that someone rubs off on me. I want to be that person that if I can help them change or make them realise that they need to change, because at the end of the day, it's only they can change, not that we can make someone change. It's like I wake up every morning, not that I make a big deal of it, and is that I try to better myself each day. And I don't do it in such a way that I make a big hang up over it. It's just that sometimes if someone's upset with you, it might be them, it might be you. If two people are upset with you, it might be them, it might be you. If three people are upset with you that day, maybe it could be me. And that's what one needs to tell themselves. Sometimes they may need to change. Because there's some people out there that just bag everyone they come across after they're left to the next person. And sometimes people come back cross. And they need to come back and cross. Oh, here's my mate, Bella. I'll just turn you around and see if you can see. Bella and my dog checking each other out, play date time. And look at this spring. She's 14 years old and she's galloping. And Bella's there. How you going, Bella? I get excited about this time because I love my dogs. It's actually, Bella's the owner of the people here that's got the cafe, and she's only 1 year old and Zigzag's 14. and they just love each other so much. They lick ice cream together. They have a lot of fun. So they get quite excited. Yeah, I get excited when I see them. I think it's top stuff. Yeah, so there's no bullying on their sides. You can learn a lot from dogs. Because bullying, it's exactly right. You know how you can learn from dogs? You know when a dog can meet together for the first time? They sometimes growl and spit and fight and ignore each other's body language. Especially if they're not meeting other dogs in parks regularly. So sometimes you've got to teach dogs social skills. Well, it's like us people. Sometimes we need to be taught social skills. And sometimes it comes down to the dogs when they start to spit and fight and whatnot for the first time. It's because the dog sometimes often is scared. And some bullies out there, sometimes it's just because they're scared. Something could be happening in their life. Something could be happening in their home life. And sometimes they put a barrier and they don't want to express that to anyone else. And they put this barrier up. And often it's because they're scared. And sometimes it might be because they want to learn and need a hug. Sometimes we need to lick each other's butt. That's very true. And sniff each other's butt out so we can learn to love each other. That's a very important response there. Very, very good. I love it. Yes, and that's what we can learn a lot from animals and things. Like so many humans in the past, and still do, they label animals as being something so insulting. Like the stereotype they give dogs, that dogs just go out and have sex all the time and all the rest of it. It's just that what they do is part of their social life. Is a lot of it is if they haven't been taught manners. Sometimes it comes down to the owners that dogs can have manners. It's only people that are bad owners have created these statements in the past. I think we can learn a lot from all animals. Yes, I know you're only joking, but it was great. I liked it. Yes, I can pick up on jokes. Doesn't matter where you're from, because I'm involved with lots of diverse people. And some jokes you may lose in translation, but yeah, I get jokes very freely. Thank you for the likes, guys. I was meaning just to come on here. Oh, it's nearly an hour up anyway, so I've come to, because I only do live streams for a bit of an hour. What's that? I never understood the saying, dingo ugly. Dingoes are beautiful animals. Yes, but the reason why dingo ugly is, unfortunately, Australian outback is a very unhospitable place at times. And like there's different various sayings with dingoes, like a dingo's breakfast is something like you sniff around, have a drink, and that's all you get. Well, dingoes don't get a lot of food in the outback environment and whatnot, and some of them can actually look quite sad because of their environment, but some of the dingoes that are in the zoos here in Australia are quite beautiful. Dingoes are beautiful, but some dingoes could actually look quite sad because they're mistreated around different towns and starving and all the rest of it, and they may have not looked so good. It might have come from that saying. So a lot of sayings come from the environment that one lived in the past. A lot of sayings come from way back. Oh, you have 5 cats and 1 dog? So that's great. Yeah, I'm not a big cat lover. When I say that, cats love me. For some reason, and it used to frustrate me because I used to have to, my sister would neglect leaving the door open and allow her cats to get into my room all the time. So often I had to cover my bed with plastic, and the cats would try to get into it all the time if I didn't. And I'm not a big fur lover of having fur in your bed, because I used to work so many different hours, and often I'd come home quite knackered. That's an Aussie term of buggered, another Aussie term meaning tired. And sometimes I just simply wanted to get into bed. When I found there was a cat in there, I just grew a, not that I hated cats, it's just I just wasn't a big fan for the time, but that was only a personal thing. Again, it came down to environment. My sister created that environment, which unfortunately resulted my slightly dislike to the poor cats, and where I only just get nothing but pleasure from my dog, except for when she rolls in cat poo. And she used to have a habit of that, rolling in cat poo when I needed to go somewhere urgently, which I never used to like too much. But they're funny stories that I could leave for another day. But how you going, Ian? Yes, it's me. Thank you for popping in. Ian's a really good mate of mine. He's from England. He's like one of those mates that you'd love to have a beer with. He likes to have a relax after he does his scrapping or work or whatever he does. And sometimes he likes to let his hair down because his lack of hair, so to speak. And sometimes he likes to have a bit of a gargle, which is a term we use. I don't know if you use that, Ian, where you like to have a little bit of a drink and enjoy yourself, which I love lots. And so I really enjoy that. And that's why Ian and I have grown into such good mates, just at a YouTube level. And I will get pissed, yeah. You do. But I love that, mate. I don't drink anymore, but I would enjoy that I could occasionally, because sometimes if you're not rude or vulgar or whatever, you can become quite close with one another when you've had a few drinks, and it's great stuff. So I enjoy seeing that from you, mate, and I think it's just good times, and that's what all we strive for, is good times, isn't it? Yep, good times. Oh, how you going, IVE? Thank you for popping in. Yeah, I'm just chatting along because it's been a long time since I've done a live chat, because the weather was so good and calm down here today. I don't know what it's like. I didn't bring my dead cat mic. I didn't even think I was going to do a live stream because my computer's arriving tomorrow. I thought I'd wait till I get my computer set up. But I'll still do a raw live stream down here from time to time when I plan it. And I'll just have to put up with the results of lag and cutting in and out. But I think we can still get a nice result. People enjoy seeing the lake. So I'll give you another little look at the lake and see if you can see that overhead. Not a big close-up, but it's beautiful down here. It's very sultry. We've got Indian weather here at the moment. And my dog's over there, if anyone was interested to see where my dog is. She sits mainly over there because that's between me and the road. And dogs, I study dog language, like I was just explaining, is the reason why a dog will come down and sit by you, or they bump up against you, that's all to do with loyalty and pack behaviour. But when a dog sits between you and an object like a road where there's traffic or people going by, they often sit there so they can check things out, like she's doing now. She's checking out to make sure that I'm safe. And that's what she does. When a dog loves you so much, they want to keep you safe, don't they? And I enjoy that. And that's why I love my dog Zigzag so much. Because every minute of every day she tries to keep me safe. And she does that in action. And we can learn a lot from dogs in our humanist society. Like I said, so many people have bagged animals in the past, and these are people that are just not educated. Animals can be a big part of one's life. And she's 14, and one day she's going to pass, and she won't be with me any longer. And that will be a very, very sad day, and I'm preparing myself for that. Without being sad, all I am is going to celebrate the life that I have with her that I have left. And if I can do that every day, I think for her sake and my sake, I think that's going to be a good thing. How you going, Eddie? I'm on a live stream at the moment, but that's Eddie. He's the proprietor of our shop. Yep. We're just chatting along on YouTube. He's all for the YouTube bizzo. And so, yeah, he's a really good friend. And I was glad to have friends like that. Since I had my incident in hospital for a few years, I had an incident in hospital over time. A lot of my friends have left or lost connection with me a bit. It's good to see that I have some friends that I have locally here, but for a long time I was in basically house where I couldn't get out, and I could only get out with people picking me up in the car and taking me to rehab when I was out of hospital. So a lot of the close connections I had is basically was only solved through my social media, and I didn't have a lot of face-to-face contact. But now that I'm with the Green Hall and I play cards up there, that's my weekly contact. But now that I'm picking up a few extra friends here locally, it's a good thing. For a while I didn't know anyone. Yes, hit like when you come into the chat. That'd be great, guys. It just helps the analytics, as those experienced people out there can understand. Are you heading to bed, Matthew? Ian, that's okay, buddy. Thanks for popping in. That's all I love, is just you to pop in and put your head in and say hello. It means a lot to me, matey. I really, and I hope you have some really nice dreams. I really think that. Yeah, you're going to. Yeah, you've got to do a few things too. Yeah, I might close this stream now. It's just been an hour and 3 minutes, and it's great. Oh, we've got hiking with the Sasquatch is on. You might want to pop over there. He's a funny character. He's searching for the Bigfoot. So there's plenty of people that I support, and they support me. So you can take your pick. If you haven't got him, check him out. It's hiking with the Sasquatch, if that's the correct pronunciation. Yeah, we can all have a laugh. I'm here for humour, mate. I'm here for humour. I might try to pop in over at, I know who you can pop over if he's still going, is Choppers Rule 1. He's a fellow Queenslander Australian, and if you can go over and pop over there, that would mean a lot to me. So I haven't got the link, but if you could pop over there, that'd be great. So with no further ado, I'm going to finish off the stream. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.